There is always pressure to draft well in the AFL. The evenness of the competition, the academy and father-son rules, and the looming inclusion of Tasmania make these next couple national drafts especially critical. We all know Richmond, West Coast and North Melbourne need to keep picking up guns in the top end of the draft, but quietly, another set of teams have emerged as not entering rebuilds as such, but needing to nail their selections in this upcoming November draft. One of these teams is St Kilda. They have picked 7 and 8 in the draft thanks to the compensation they received from Josh Battle leaving to Hawthorn. 7 and 8 has a familiar feel to St Kilda fans, and not in a good way. In 2017, they had the same picks as they have now and selected Hunter Clark and Nick Caulfield. Clark has been horrifically unlucky with head knocks and injury during his time in the AFL. 18 games in 2023 has been the most he has played outside the 2020 COVID year, and although when he has played he hasn't been bad, he hasn't lived up to the expectations of a top 10 pick. Nick Caulfield, who is now at the Western Bulldogs, has had similar issues. He had a breakout 2020 and seemed to be a player on the rise, but missed 2022 as he dealt with an ACL and didn't play an AFL game in 2023 as he struggled with continuous soft tissue injuries. The Saints have drafted much better since, picking up guys like Nasiah Wanganeen-Malira, Mitch Owens, Mateus Philippou and Darcy Wilson, who have all shown star qualities. But they need superstar midfielders. Jack Steele and Jack McRae are good ball winners, but don't have that breakaway speed or power. Adding a draftee or two who can complement them with pace would give the Saints depth, and if Ross Lyon decides to throw in Wanganeen-Malira and Philippou in the midfield mix, you have yourself a pretty strong on-ball unit. It seems like St Kilda have turned the corner with their drafting since 2022, but if they want to contend within the next few seasons, they just can't afford to have a repeat of the 2017 draft. The changes at Essendon in the past few years have now entered into their list management. Long-time list boss Adrian Dodoro is finally out of the door, and Matt Rosa has taken over. He has set up a new agenda that focuses on the draft. From the outside, it feels like Brad Scott and the Bombers hierarchy have decided to have a reset of sorts. They brought in Jade Gresham, Todd Goldstein and Ben Mackay in a push to move up the ladder last off-season, but it didn't work out. Dylan Shield, Will Setterfield and Jake Kelly are others that have also been traded in recently to try and improve the squad. With Rosa now at the helm and the evidence in front of them that the team isn't good enough, it's time to hit the draft. The Age recently reported that Essendon is undertaking a 3-year strategy to improve their list. It says, as year 1 of that 3-year plan, this postseason has clearly emphasised the view of Rosa, Scott and Vozzo, the CEO, that the playing list is in need of A-grade talent and that star quality is best found in the national draft. It later says by the end of the 3-year draft plan, the club will then hopefully target free agents and trade options to top up. The Bombers will not say it, but the fact that they are willing to go to the draft after 2 years under Scott is also a recognition that the strategy of 2017 to 2019 failed. This should be music to Essendon fans' ears. No more middling, and the club might have to take a step back to go 2 steps forward. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, and with Rosa in charge of list management, the club is finally going in a new direction. Interstate, much of the off-season interest has been on Port Adelaide, but don't forget about their rivals. Yes, Peatling, Cumming and Neil Bullen are good additions and can all play roles in the team, but remember the Crows have pick 4 for a reason. The reality is, Adelaide have been one of the worst drafting sides in the past 10 years. Go back to those drafts and have a look at the names. Their first round selections have resulted in no superstars. They got a good player in Darcy Fogarty, while Riley Thilthorpe and Max Michelani have shown potential. If it wasn't for being situated in Adelaide, which helped them get Isaac Rankin and Jordan Dawson, and smart rookie and delisted player pickups, this team would be in big trouble. So surely it's time for Adelaide to pick up their own star-on-baller like St Kilda need to. It would open up their midfield and forward line, being able to have 3 X-Factor players in Dawson, Rankin and hopefully pick 4 on ball, being supported by Saligo, Laird, Crouch and Berry. Adelaide and St Kilda both sit in this so close yet so far area. It feels like landing one superstar draftee could unlock so many parts of their team's potential and give them much deeper midfield rotations. The wildcard team heading into this draft is Melbourne. It feels like if a big selection twist was to come, it would be from the Ds. Off-field, we all know they have issues, and on it, they are in a strange spot. Christian Petrarca will be back, but who knows what his investment levels will be like, and Clayton Oliver is the great unknown. At his best, he's a top 15 to 10 player, but if he performs like he did last year, he's basically worthless. The forward line is an issue, May and Lever are now aging, and without Oliver and Petrarca at their peak, it is a weak on-ball room. Melbourne came into the trade period with pick 5, and then ended up trading their future first round pick 28, 40, 46, 54 and 65 to get Essendon's pick 9 and a future third. With 2 top 10 picks, it looks like Melbourne is still bullish about their team and want to get in 2 top prospects now. Many will be tipping Melbourne to be a big faller next year, which would mean that future first round pick could be a top 5 one again. It's an interesting draft decision by Melbourne, who are hard to get a read on right now. You can visualise a top 8 bounce back if their 2 superstars can get right, but a bottom 4 slide is just as foreseeable due to the overall volatility at the club. It puts pressure on recruiting to nail pick 5 and 9, especially if they finish at the bottom in 2025. So heading into the first night of the draft, the focus and heat will be on these recruiters and list management teams. The close nature of the competition is a glass half full and half empty dynamic. If you can get the drafting part of your club right, you are on your way to playing finals, but get it wrong, and you can be stuck in a cycle of mediocrity and uneasiness. In a game of 18 against 18, sometimes it is one player, like a Dustin Martin, Marcus Bonampelli, Nick Dacos, or Patrick Cripps, that can change your fortunes. All of the clubs in this video could do with a star not too different to one of those big names.